So I want to show everyone the wiring I've done here to get GT350 mufflers to work on a 2017 GT. This would probably work for any of those years, 15 through 17, maybe the 18, 19s, but those have active exhaust, so those might be easier to do. So here I have two GT350 mufflers. You can see this one is always sort of set, and then this one has the solenoid on it, and what happens here is this opens up, and when it opens you can see straight through the whole muffler out the back. So what I had to do was figure out how it wires, because there's three wires coming off of it here, and I'll refer to these as 1, 2, and 3 going from the inside out. So this is the inside up close to the solenoid, 2, 3. Now they're all the same color, they're all purple and blue, so there's no obvious positive, negative, reverse the polarity, make the thing go backwards and forwards. So I just basically took my little power supply here, 12 volt, about 3.5 amps, very light, and I just played with the wires enough until I figured out what made it open and what made it close. So what you want to do when you get these is figure out which one of your wires, if you get these. Okay, so first off, you're going to want to try to get these little harness wires. They're like jumpers in a sense. This is one of them. That's the item. That's the number of it, I guess you could say. So what you want to do is take off this shielding and then figure out which wire is which going back up to the top from the back here. Now you can do that with a multimeter and a power supply by, hooking up one end, hooking up the positive or negative, and then putting the other end to this, and then your other end of the tester to this, and finding out which wire is which from the end to the back here so that you can label them all yourself. Without further ado, the number 1 wire is your negative. That's what you want to hook up your negative to, and I've got it set up here in a sense. You can see that slash there, that's actually a negative. Then your number 2 wire is the switch. That's the one that's going to change on you. That's the one you would need to hook a switch up to. And then your number 3 wire, the one at the furthest end, away from the inside of the solenoid, is your positive wire. Alright, so what I've got going on here is the negative and the positive are all hooked up. They're actually, this is the negative even though it's red, and this is the positive even though it's black. And then this wire right here, this tip, that's the switch wire that I just have sort of exposed right now. That wire right there, that one needs to touch the negative. These are negative switched. They're not positive switched. So watch what happens when I touch these, or listen at least. Did you hear that? That was the solenoids opening, actually closing. Now you know what the wires are and how you wire these up to get them to work. What I'm going to end up doing here is just running a positive and a negative wire from the inside of the car back, and the negative is going to be on a switch. So that's this side right here, the S. So that's a switch, and that would be, the switch is going to be a negative instead of a positive going through it. This will be hooked up to the positive actually here. That will be hooked up to a fuse tap. So I'm going to tap into the fuse with them extra adult circuit things, and the negative, this one, that will just hooked up to any ground constantly. It's just the switch on negative that has to be done. Okay, so if you want to see more of what it's going to sound like and what it looks like and all the other steps involved with this, please follow my channel. Please give this video a like so I know that it's helping somebody out there, or please leave me a comment if you have questions or if you want to add something to this. This is a different method from cutting into the solenoid and wiring it directly so that you can just use a DP-DT switch. I think that's the right term, to reverse the polarity back and forth. This is actually hooking them up the way they're meant to be worked, and not opening the solenoids and cutting them apart. I'm not saying one way is right or wrong. I'm just saying that this is a different way to use the GT350 mufflers instead of the later model ones that have the Ford solenoids on them. These have the Cooster solenoids. I guess this was before Ford really decided they would go and put these on a lot of Mustangs. 2018, you could get them in a GT So this was when it was GT350 only. Thank you for watching.